Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with great recent recordings of the classics. Yes, the 21st century will offer a bonanza of wonderful recordings of stuff that's already been recorded a million times, but at least it won't be worse. That's the point. And today we're talking about Bach's motets. They used to be called the unaccompanied motets because, well, they don't have an accompaniment, but they were intended to be performed with a continuo part, so they're kind of accompanied. And now we just call them the motets because we want to be more correct, don't we? Anyway, this recording, which is absolutely stunning, features the ensemble Pygmalion under Raphaël Pichon. And boy, is it hot. It's on Harmonia Mundi. Of course, as usual on Harmonia Mundi, they're competing with themselves because they also have the Vocal Consort Berlin, or whatever that thing is, under Marcus Creed, which is absolutely marvelously wonderful. But these are beautiful performances. It's a beautiful disc. The Bach Motets are still less known than they ought to be. One of them, Jesu meine Freude, is one of his very greatest works. And in any medium, it's one of the glories of the choral repertoire. I happen to have sung a few with this voice, believe it or not. Well, it was better then. When I was in college, particularly, which one did we do? Lobet den Herrn, alle Heiden, the one that, praise the Lord, all ye things, peoples. The interesting thing is that that's one of the apocryphal ones. They're not exactly sure it's by Bach. One of the problems with the motets, in fact, is that there are 6 or 8, depending on how you want to do them. The scholarship has kind of cleared up some of the confusion about which ones Bach wrote and which Bach didn't write. And the canonic set are the 6 that you hear here. Other recordings have added the other 2. Which seem to, one of them is 2/3 by Bach, we think pretty surely, and the other one seems to be by Bach, but it doesn't matter. 6 is plenty, quite frankly. And on this lovely disc, you also get some additional, as sort of like, just say contrast, interludes, some lovely little short pieces of Renaissance choral music by Giovanni Gabrieli, Vincenzo Bertolucci, and Jacobus Gallus. So that's really nice for contrast. But the motets are extraordinary. They really are. They are joyful and fun. And the wonderful thing about this performance is that it's joyful and fun. I mean, the music really dances. It's fleet, it's light, it's exciting, but not to the point of exaggeration, because you can have performances, especially these period instrument groups, that can really mess with the text and futz around with rhythm and things like that and make for some very strange effects. John Eliot Gardner did that in his later recording on Solo Deo Gloria. He did it twice. He did one for Erato too, which was kind of normal and okay. And then he decided to go kind of crazy, and with all kinds of ha-ha-has and funny punched out accents and things. Violence, doing real violence to the music in places. It's a very strange interpretation. But frankly, there have been a bazillion Bach motet recordings since the turn of the century. Really some very good ones. There's Suzuki, and there's the Netherlands Bach, choir, whatever they're called, on Channel Classics. And for around the turn of the century, maybe a little before, but after, they seem to be coming into their own because there are so many absolutely first-class chamber choirs, small groups and Baroque performance organizations that are equipped to do them. And people are beginning to realize that this is just an amazing way to do some first-class Bach. First-class, mostly joyful Bach, which is what's really nice about it. These were written actually for funerals for the most part. Of course, joyful Bach was written for funerals, but they're largely contented and happy works. I mean, you've got, aside from Jesu meine Freude and Lobet den Herrn alle Heiden, there Komm, Jesu, komm, and Fürchte dich nicht, ich bin bei dir, don't fear, I'm with you. Consoling music that's refreshing, that's uplifts the spirit in a good way. Der Geist hilft unserer Schwachheit auf. The Spirit deals with our weakness. And Singet dem Herrn ein neues Lied. Sing unto the Lord a new song. Really terrific music. And this performance, which comes from 2020, oh my God, look at that. Very recent and very, very enjoyable. So if you don't know these pieces, you really ought to get into them because, even if, like me, you have a Bach problem and don't think everything that the man did is, just, the bee's knees musically, you will still find just a ton to enjoy. Most of these pieces are relatively short, 7-8 minutes, especially in these performances. The Jesu meine Freude is about 20 minutes, and they're just a delight from beginning to end. And we're in very good shape as we proceed into the 21st century. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.